Welcome to the First and 20 NFL podcast. My name's Darius, and as always, I'm joined by my cohort.
I'm Matt from the great state of New Hampshire in the New England region. Go Red Sox. Hopefully we can wrap it up. I'm nervous. I'm scared. As always.
How's the foliage up in New Hampshire?
It's beautiful this time of year.
I know, right?
It's getting there. It's not there quite yet. Like it's not peak fall, but I was looking out a window today. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
It's straight up beautiful foliage right now.
We got a warm front coming through the northeast. 70 out. Fall weather's booming. Anybody ever call New Hampshire New Hampshire?
Yeah. Quite a bit. It's just like, all right, I get it. You're trying to be edgy. Listen, this isn't Massachusetts or Southern Maine, all right? If you're edgy, just go there. We're relaxing right now.
All right, so this week's lineup is going to be a little bit condensed, similar to last week. We're going to try to keep it short because right now we got the Yankees and Red Sox going, and it's a high-stakes game. It's Game 4 in the ALDS. Yankees-Red Sox, the biggest rivalry. Matt's obviously a huge Red Sox fan. My whole family's a Yankees fan, so everybody's watching upstairs. So we're going to try to make this a little bit condensed. No promises because we are passionate football guys. Right, you're a passionate football guy.
If you don't know, the Yankees and the Red Sox are two professional baseball teams. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Stockings have been regional rivals for around a century. It's considered one of the hottest rivalries in all of sports, easily the hottest rivalry in American sports.
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah, well, if you didn't know, if you never watched ESPN in your life, because they blow that up every time it happens.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Anyways,
preaching to the choir.
Football talk.
Football. So we have 5 segments today. We're in the midst of one. That's our intro, and then we have pick the lines as we've been doing today. This week we're going to keep a tally. Last week, if you remember, me and Matt had a lot of contrasting points of views on the games, and I do believe I beat Matt by a lot. That's just what we believe.
God.
But we don't know because we didn't keep it down. So this week, I'm going to make sure to write down the picks that we do not agree on.
And next week, we will get back to you on the ones that we had last week. I'm terrified for what happened, but I know I won at least 2. I do know that. I can guarantee I picked. I guarantee I picked the Browns.
Those pesky Browns. They're not good.
You picked the Colts. You picked the Colts. I remember that.
Who'd the Colts play?
The Patriots.
That's right, the Patriots.
So I have at least 2.
Okay, so we got pick the line. Matt's gonna bring us with a who knows what kind of segment. It's like that Airhead that has a big question mark. It's the white flavor. We're not sure what it is, but he's going to surprise us with something.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as always,
I'll have it.
My last 2 weeks have been not very good with my best bets. I'm 2 for 4 on the season. But I'm going to, if you like making money, this is the week where I'm going to strike some gold. Okay, we're going to strike some oil. You're going to make some money this week if you listen to me. And then some baseball talk if we're feeling up to it. We'll see with time. All right, so let's get into it. We have our pick the lines of Week 6. We are 6 weeks in. NFL standings are taking shape. A lot of teams who are very in the thick. A lot of teams who, not too many teams who have gained that much ground or are completely elite or the worst. A lot of just teams sitting in the middle of the pack waiting to strike.
Yeah, that's how the year is, man.
So Week 6 should be revealing. I mean, we do not have a single defeated team left, and we only have 2 undefeated teams. So Week 6 should tell us some things. So Game 1, we have hosting your Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. My oh my, does that sound good to say, against the New York Giants in New Jersey. I've been to this game 3 times. Giants, Eagles. My dad's a Giants fan. I'm obviously an Eagles fan. I was at the Miracle at the Meadowlands. Fun fact, back in 2010 with the Deshaun Jackson kick return. May have
Nice.
may have been wearing a Deshaun Jackson jersey. May have had a beer can flinged at my face. These things may have happened.
As a
So,
kid.
yep, I was
Brutal.
in ninth grade,
Well,
December of ninth
that's
grade.
a Philadelphia type of thing to happen.
I know, right? That's just kind of the magnitude of that upset. For those who don't know, the Eagles were down 21 with 7 minutes to go, and they ended up scoring 24 in regulation to win.
That's the second miracle at the Meadowlands, right?
Yes, that was number two. They actually scored 28, my bad, because they won 38-31. So we'll get into it. The Eagles are 3-point favorites. The Eagles coming off a tough loss to the Vikings. Kind of tells you the
hmm
state of the Giants. What do you think, Matt?
Eagles, probably. The Eagles play this unlovable, disgusting football. Lane Johnson sucks. How does it feel to have one championship and suck now?
I'm
He's
not
the
too big of a
sorest.
Lane Johnson guy myself, but
He's the sorest winner. I just hate that. But normal, he was a good right tackle for like a year. But um, right tackle, right?
yes, right tackle. Number
Yeah.
4 pick from the 2012 season.
Um, Still Eagles easy winners. I mean, come on, right?
So you're taking the Eagles here.
Yeah, the Giants are like fine. Maybe they'll get it together. They got talent, but I'll surprise you later. Don't worry.
All right, so you're saying the Eagles. I'm going to have to agree with you, obviously. I'm a homer. I'll go with the Eagles. Again, though, buyer beware. This is the Super Bowl zone. They get
Mm,
3 points because they won the Super Bowl. If they lost in the divisional round against the Falcons in week one, or the week one of the playoffs, this is probably 1 point,
Giants'
or pick
favorite
'em,
game.
maybe even the Giants. So buyer
Yeah, it's
beware.
fair.
J.J. is out for the entire season, and the Eagles' offense is not clicking. But the Giants are a dumpster fire, and they suck because they're the Giants.
It's all right. They'll
Obviously.
trade for Shady. They'll get it right.
Oh yeah, that's been in the rumors. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great if I traded for LaShawn McCoy on my fantasy team. I
Oh
did
yeah,
that.
25 carries. Tell me about him. I had him and benched him. Still won though. I've started James White. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
James
Matt. I'm
White.
thanking you for your Patriots.
No problem. Hey, I say start James White. You know what? Shout out to everyone. My
Just
early
shout out to
segment.
everyone. Wow.
Shout out to everyone
Very
who starts
broad.
James
Oh.
White. Shout out to everyone who picks James White, especially in PPR leagues. He gets solid targets. I don't know why no one does it. Everyone's like, "Oh, James White, I'm not going to do that." I get him like the ninth round every year. I don't know if the people I'm with are just like dumb in that way or something, but really, James White's good. Like he gets targets. He gets carries maybe. He got 0 yards rushing last week and got 23 points. The guy gets a target share. He gets you like 10 points every week. That's my
Interesting.
thing.
Well, people do factor in that they have a bunch of running backs ahead of him on the depth chart, so I think that has to do
It's
something with it.
But not even that. That he's always done that. No matter who is there. I've had him like 3 years in a row, and he's never let me down.
All right. Well, I'm glad he's on my team.
Yeah. Anyways, so Bills Texans.
Bills Texans. Bills are visiting Houston. This is probably the worst game of the week in terms of talent. The Texans are favored by 1. Bills are only getting 1 point
Mm.
on the road. Wow. What? This might go in my best bets. What? All right.
Uh,
All right, Matt. What do you think?
Texans. Why not Texans?
Yeah, I
Pick it.
mean, come on. It's the Bills. I know that they just came off a rousing 13-12 victory over the Titans, but they're on the road. They have Josh Allen. He's a nightmare. You never know what he's going to do in the pocket. He might scramble. He might hurdle a guy. I mean, he's going up against one of the best pass rushes. I really like the Texans for this one. Really like the
Uh,
Texans.
Funny thing, I was watching NFL Network. Yes, because I watch sports television. My opinions don't come from a void. I need to somehow watch TV to get them. I was watching NFL Network, and there was a segment like, "Oh, what is every rookie quarterback like? What have they done well?" And they went over like, "Oh, Sam Darnold does a really good read to connect to Robbie Anderson. Um, what was it? Josh Rosen did a really good job like reading the route for I think it was Christian Kirk or whatever when he like made that bomb throw." And Josh Allen was like there are 5 guys, and he gets through all of them, and he runs to the end zone. It wasn't like a read. It wasn't a smart play.
He
Anything
could have
good. It
got
was just
lit
like,
up, sent to
yeah,
Nebraska.
yeah. They're like, he ran so hard and so well, and he got through 5 guys. Like, dude, he could have
I could
died.
have. You could have done that.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't have done that.
Yeah,
but,
true.
Like,
Me
he got
either.
through like 5 guys. It's like, that's not a read. That's nothing. He's just a running back then. All
He's
right.
just a 6'5", 240-pound, very limited center of gravity running back.
Yeah. Come on, man. Get your reads right, Josh Allen. You have the physical gifts. You have the potential. You have the traits, as football people like to say. Anyways,
Very true. Use it well. He is 2 days older than me. So next game we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Atlanta Falcons. The still 500 somehow Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Does Fitzmagic have another week in him?
no.
No, is
Falcons.
that because he's on the bench? Is that because he's not even starting?
No. He'll always have weeks in him. He'll start forever, just like
Fitzmagic never dies. Just like Case
Fitzmagic
Keenum,
can't
according
die.
to you.
Case Keenum is immortal. This is a fact.
I
He'll be
I
released
don't understand that take.
at least by the
But
end of next
we'll
year.
just swing along with it.
I don't
Alright.
understand how Case Keenum continually starts forever, but he's just immortal, and that's something you need to realize.
All right.
Um, I pick Falcons.
So we got Atlanta getting 3.5 at home in a basically, if they lose, the season's over game because they're 1-4. A far fall from being up 28-3 in the Super Bowl to a year and a half later being 1-4 with
Load
basically
up,
the same
rebuild it.
team.
Rebuild it.
Bucks, yeah. Tampa. I'm gonna keep my take from preseason. Tampa's a bad team. First 2 weeks, every team gets lucky. There's always that one
Yep.
team who surprises you. Take the Falcons. So we've
Yeah.
agreed on the first.
Falcons will get better.
Yeah, Falcons are looking a little better, even though they lost. Game 4. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the malicious, strap your helmet on tight. This is going to be a bloodbath, Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are favored by 2.5. They're 4-1. They're everybody's hot sleeper team right now. The 4-1 Bengals are getting 2.5 at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'll let you go first on this
Okay,
one.
I'm
Who's
gonna
your
go.
big-
I'll go with Pittsburgh. I'm just taking. I think this is a pick'em game. I could see either team easily winning. I love Pittsburgh's offense. I think they'll get it together. I do think that they're the one true threat to the Patriots in the AFC. I'm still believing in them. People are off the bandwagon. I'm still riding along. I'll go with them, especially since they're getting points. Give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no. Bengals are going to win. Pittsburgh doesn't have a defense. They have a running game. Big Ben is a kind of turnover machine, so he's not Mariota level, but or Blake Bortles bad game level, but he does. Bengals offense looks high powered. The Bengals are going to stop. It's just not going to be this week.
All right, so I'll write that one down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to introduce the next game as I write it down?
Yes, and I want to introduce a stat to start it.
Okay.
This is a
Ooh,
weird,
stat.
a weird statistic, and I got it from my friend, who says if a team at home in consecutive weeks is the underdog, they do not lose those games.
Both games or just one of the two?
They need to win the first week.
Oh.
If they win the first week, they will not lose the second week.
Okay. I know. I think I know where you're gonna go with this one, especially considering who it is.
Picking the Browns, baby.
Are you
Browns,
serious?
Chargers.
Wow, I never thought.
The Browns, I just looked it up. They were underdogs at home last week, and they did win. This is a weird thing. It predicted the Titans winning against you guys.
That was another one that you won, so you're up to 3. No, or is this one of the 2?
For last week?
Yeah.
No, I Browns are one of the 2.
Okay.
There's no way they
Yeah.
should.
I vividly remember you picking the Browns and thinking that
But
on Sunday.
The Titans, Titans did it against you guys, and this was weirdly enough a
Categorizing
stat
me
that
as a Bills
predicted
fan?
that.
Or
No,
an Eagle? Okay,
an Eagles fan.
good.
When they beat you guys, the Titans. This stat said they would. This stat has worked like
Huh.
several times.
That's it. I'm gonna
Um,
start paying attention to that then. So the
it's a
home dog has to win, be the underdog 2 weeks in a row, and win the first week. Do they have to
Yep.
win straight up or cover?
I think win. I'm not sure about the covering.
All right, ask him next time you see him.
Yeah, it's a bizarre stat. Keep a stat watch on that. I'm
I
picking the
will.
Browns. You know I love the Browns. Shout out to Cleveland,
This is for you. I don't think it's
except
as
for the Cavs.
inspirational as LeBron's 2016 Finals win to give them their first championship in 50 years. But Matt, you're definitely up there.
Yeah, my shout out to Cleveland definitely has changed several lives, and I like to think I have the same impact on the economy as LeBron James there.
Wow, just
Shout out to anyone from Cleveland and or LeBron James if you're listening.
what's
Sorry,
up,
LeBron.
LeBron?
Got to play second fiddle.
So obviously the Browns, I still think, are the worst team in the NFL. I'm standing packed with my preseason power rankings as them being 32. They're still 32.
Oh,
Two
that's
wins
cool
and a
because
tie.
they have a better record than you. So yeah,
You
that's cool.
you call 2 wins. You call 2 wins and a tie impressive. I call that
I
garbage. I call that a dumpster franchise. I'm writing it in right now
If that's a
as
dumpster franchise, what's 2 and 3?
it's the franchise that basically half the teams in the NFL have right now. And it's a
You're there.
half game away from being the Browns. We're not talking about the Eagles right now. We're talking about the Browns and
Oh
what an atrocity they are to the league. Can we just get another team, a franchise in LA already to replace them? Man, oh man.
yeah.
So I'm going with the Chargers. I'm surprised this line isn't a lot higher, even though the Chargers scare me in close line games. I'm not. This is a stay away for me, just because it's the Chargers. It's like the immovable force versus the impenetrable rock in terms
Mhm.
of screwing up games at the end and incompetent coaching and talented rosters. It's like the match made in heaven if two NFL franchises were to get married. But I'm on the Chargers as always. I think they're way more talented. I like Phillip Rivers. Going with
Mm.
LAC, formerly San Diego. Give me that 1 point.
All right, all right,
But we'll see with your stat, because it might not just be the Browns. It might be the stat. That might be why they win.
all right.
Okay. So, next up, we have Pete Carroll's Seattle Seahawks coming off a close loss to the Rams at the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders, and John Gruden's team getting 3 points. So the Seahawks are 3-point favorites in Oakland. No, no, no,
Hmm.
no, 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 not at Oakland. I was gonna look for the name of the Raiders Stadium, and I see here that this game will be played in London at Wembley Stadium.
Oh,
First London game of the 2018 season. Congrats, Matt. We made it.
we did it! Congrats to Wembley Stadium. God, they get to see John Gruden's Raiders, which is a blessing and a curse. I'm sorry you guys get to see it in its first year, its first incarnation. Its third year will definitely be more beautiful after all those Bears picks. I'm sorry you see the rebuilding Seahawks. This matchup would have been maybe cooler a year ago. We wanted to give you a good one for once,
Really
but
cool 2 years
yeah, at least it's not the Jaguars.
ago. Don't worry, you'll get them. They'll play the Eagles in London.
They
Sir Blake
love the
Bortles.
Jaguars. The Jaguars love there apparently.
Love there. They love there.
Yeah. Who do you think's winning?
Um, you know in Gridiron Heights how they did that scene about Pete Carroll saying that he's never going to rebuild. He was, I don't know, he was
Yeah.
up at he was at a fair and Russell Wilson said, no, he was like rebuilding a house or something, and Russ is like, we should tear this down, and like the house is collapsing. Um, I'm not really going anywhere with this other than the fact that the Seahawks are in fact rebuilding, even though they're not acting like it. And their
Mm-hmm.
franchise isn't taking any steps towards rebuilding, so they're probably going to slowly decline. And the Raiders are already full-fledged declining. So for that reason, give me the Seahawks. 3 points.
Ooh.
Not really any home field here. And I don't like the
What's
Raiders, as the listeners know.
what's the term for you're not rebuilding? It's like recharging or retooling. Oh,
Retooling, yeah, like the Patriots always do.
Yeah, you're just like
Except they're not.
getting a new jolt into the system. You're like adding a couple pieces that like make you contend fully again. The Seahawks are past that. I was just curious what the term was.
Oh, you
Sorry,
gave them a
guys.
glimmer of hope, Matt. Come on.
Yeah, no, the Seahawks are this last year I thought like they need to retool. This is a team that's a couple pieces away from like getting back there. And then they went full rebuild and everyone's gone. But hey, you had a Super Bowl and a lot of teams the Don Coryell offense that revolutionized the NFL never got one, so congrats, Seattle. Up next, the Bears and the Dolphins. The Dolphins are the worst 3-2 team in the league, potentially, um, versus the Bears. Who are you picking?
So the Bears are favored by 3
Mm-hmm.
in Miami. Dolphins home field, I wouldn't really say is a home field, and I do like the Bears defense. I think that they're one of the better bad teams. Would you
Mm-hmm.
consider the Bears bad or mediocre
Not at
even?
all. No,
Would you consider them good?
I consider them NFC North champions as it stands.
Ooh.
I
Okay, well,
consider a their defense was top 10 last year. They got better. They look a lot better. Khalil Mack is
a wrecking
I
ball.
wouldn't call him a monster as much as what offensive players have nightmares about.
He's the Tasmanian devil
He
of the
is
NFL.
yeah, he's disgustingly good. And uh if Trubisky shows development and shows the ability to get better and really improve, this is a good team. They have a solid enough receiving core. Like this is a team that can make it work. I see them as the Vikings. I don't know what's happening. They're the better team, but they just aren't doing it right now. And hey,
Yeah.
it's Bears' chance.
So I think you guys know where we're going with this. We're both going to pick Chicago. I see 95% of bettors going with Chicago here because only getting 3, or they're given 3. But
Mhm.
I could easily see Miami just pulling out one of those weird wins that they always have. They already have 3 of them. I mean, give us the Bears, obviously, but I'd stay away.
Yeah, uh, Bears, pick them. They're the boys. Chicago home to everyone else, especially Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, man.
One weird side note. I was at my Red Sox playoff game. I went to game one of the
Yeah, tell
ALDS.
us about it.
It was nuts. You don't want to hear all about the baseball stuff here, but weird football tangent there. People hated Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know why he was getting shouted out so much in that game. I
That
think someone around me
Yankees
was wearing
red. Oh,
Packers.
okay.
Yeah, I think someone around me was wearing like Packer stuff. But the people in the row above were being mean. Number one, they were just nasty, and I loved it. They're being really mean to Aaron
Wow.
Rodgers.
Yankees
Yeah,
fans are
they
mean
had
too.
like
I've been to a Yankees playoff game. Those are some
they
gruesome fans.
they were like, no, those are Red Sox
There
fans
must
who are
have just
being mean.
been not too many Yankees fans for them to unleash their anger at in your section, so they just targeted
No,
the
there were
the one
plenty.
outside. So they were just going
No,
for the guy who was different because
yeah,
there's multiple Yankees fans, so they know they couldn't go too hard on him because they were a little bit
no,
numbered.
they were being really mean to the Yankees fans too.
Oh, okay.
It
So they
was,
just hated everybody who was not like them.
yeah, it was awesome. Um, Being like them, it was terrific. Uh, no, it was completely bizarre. They were just mean when they weren't being mean to the Yankees fans. They were being mean to Aaron Rodgers, and I think that was like, the thing. They just wanted to be there and be mean. The Yankees fans like were firing back. It was a good game to go to. The section next to me was an absolute war zone for chanting and screaming at each other.
That's awesome.
Great game, great atmosphere. Bears are going to win. Easy. Pack your bags, Dolphins. I don't know where you're going to, but you got to go home. Apparently, that's not Miami for you. Next up, I Minnesota is a 10.5 line in Minneapolis. They're playing the Cardinals. Darius, who's your pick?
10.5's a lot. 10.5's always a lot. I mean, it was 17.5, and they lost the game by 17 to the Bills, somewhere around 17. So 10.5 is always a lot. I like David Johnson. I like Fitz. Rosen's showing us something. I know he went 10 for 25, but he was competent enough to beat C.J. Beathard. So give me the Cardinals, just because they're getting so many points.
CJ Beathard as a floor isn't the worst thing in the world. CJ Beathard's a fine floor. We'll see where Rosen goes after that. Hey, he's one of the rookie quarterbacks. He had a good read on a play. They went over that. He's not Josh Allen with his ability to run through things. It's just such a good thing to say about a player. Like, he ran through so many defenders as opposed to, like, he could really read well and adjust and throw and make an accurate throw in coverage. No, it was just he ran through people. Nah, but Rosen he's a fine enough young quarterback, but the Vikings, it has to be the Vikings. I don't see how you're picking the Cardinals. The line is huge. I would not bet on the Vikings just because it's a big line, but I'd pick them to win any day.
Okay, so we're both going to the Cards here because of the line.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Indianapolis.
Actually, you know what? I'm taking the Vikings. This is bounce
10.5?
back. Bounce back. I'm taking the
10.5?
Vikings. They just lost again, if I'm correct. So I think they're trying to bounce back.
All right. Are you sure? Are you gonna?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
All right. It's down. You can introduce the next game. Have you picked between the Broncos and Chiefs yet? That is the real question from Week 4.
I still will never pick on that.
All right. I'm
I
writing
think
it
it's
down.
Broncos. I think it's the Broncos. Colts, Jets. My God. It's like the Broncos, Chiefs, but everything's bad. Oh,
Hey, at
crap.
least these teams can move the ball. I do like I like Luck. I like the Jets running game. I like the Jets defense. Colts have been surprisingly competent, even
Luck
though they're
is
1-4.
He is the saddest starting franchise quarterback in the NFL. He has so much talent, and they've given him nothing and no room to develop. He's so likable. He's such a nice
Yeah,
guy.
I really dislike Andrew Luck.
He moves well. He makes good throws. I remember one play where he drew in coverage himself, made it look like he was going to run, so he drew in coverage and he threw a dime past that little open window that he created. I think it was past Jamie Collins or Dante Hightower. A beautiful throw to his receiver. It was awesome. 2 or 3 years ago, I think the year before he was hurt. Was it the year where we didn't have an offensive line? I don't know. Either way, love him. Colts, New York's up 2.5. Let's pick the Colts. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm doing that. Who are you picking?
All right. You're going with the Colts. This is a stay away if I've ever seen one. This is Colts. I mean, they're very similar. I'll go with the Colts, I guess. Yeah, I'll go with the Colts. Just because the Jets are too inconsistent. They win some weeks. I'll just say because they won last week, they'll lose this week. And I have a football crush on Andrew Luck. I wish he was my quarterback.
It's true. I do too. Everyone does. He's such a nice guy. I feel like if I drop the ball, he'd just be like, "It's all right, man. I'm sorry. I threw it so hard."
Yeah.
And it wouldn't even be sarcastic. He just apologized.
Yeah, I used to have a
Like,
social studies teacher like that who'd apologize for giving us homework when the whole class didn't do it. And I'm always trying to be that kind of guy.
It's not your fault, dude. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Andrew. You just keep throwing balls like that. I'll learn to catch them. Redskins, Panthers. This is just quite the game to bet.
The old Josh Norman reunion.
Mm-hmm. I've been more excited about reunions. But this is quite a
Don't
curious
worry,
game.
the Chiefs play the Redskins, so
This
you'll
is
get
such
really
a cool
excited.
game. Mm-hmm.
So what'd you say?
Panthers, I guess. It's a close game. It's really
Oh, it's a
exciting.
close game. Okay.
It's
That's
like they're about the same talent level, except the Panthers have like an insane quarterback, and the Redskins have my Mendoza line. So Cam Newton all the way, I
everybody's
guess.
Mendoza line. Are you still upset with my pick as of Watson as my Mendoza line? Have you come around yet?
No, I haven't.
I thought you would have after that Sunday night performance, but okay. Well,
No,
I'll
he
stay. I'll stay with it. I'll check in.
he has such a ceiling. He does have a better ceiling, or he could be RG3. We don't know.
Okay. Are you still
We'll find out.
as low on the Redskins? Because if
Yes,
not
I've
now, then
never. No,
when?
I
Because of their performance against the Saints.
no. Actually, do you want to know a weird thing about
Always.
yesterday? Um, the Cleveland Indians got eliminated from the playoffs.
I
The
think I know where you're going with this.
the Redskins got crushed. And what was the other one? The Atlanta Braves got eliminated from the playoffs. All on Columbus
All on
Day.
Indigenous People Day.
God,
If that isn't symbolic, I don't know what is.
I'm so sorry, Native Americans. I'm sorry you just had to be reminded of it so terribly. Like none of them could pick up a win and like delay it for a day. They just all got crushed.
That's so interesting. I didn't even think of that. Chief Wahoo is being retired for baseball fans. You know what that is. If not,
Really?
ooh, uh-oh. 2-0. 2-0 Sox. Top
He's
three.
fully retired?
Yeah,
Oh wow. What are they gonna do? Just have a
just the C, I guess.
Yeah, that's a fine symbol. See,
Um,
Chief Wahoo, you're a tradition for a long time, but it's you know, it's a different world now, and that's just, I guess, a thing we're doing. At least your name isn't the Redskins. Like, you're Chief Wahoo. That's fine, but, like, I'm not going to say change it or don't. I don't. I've never been a huge fan of the name. It's a little weird, but, like, when you get that much of a blowback on a name, and your first reaction is to, like, dig into it, as a business person, I just wouldn't understand that. Like, that's like Coke doubling down on like New Coke in the 80s.
mm-hmm.
Like, it just
Not a thing
wouldn't.
to do.
Or in the 90s, whenever it just wouldn't make sense. Like, just don't say like this is right. This is definitely right with the huge amount. Just like it's fine. The Redskins, like, to be honest, they aren't a proud franchise. They don't have great moments. Just like change the name. It's okay. There have been two Cleveland Browns reboots or two Cleveland Browns franchises. You're allowed a little levity with these things. Just thank you. Just do it. I
Okay.
think that's my rant on the Redskins and Columbus
Yeah, we
Day.
know your feelings on the Redskins.
I just hate them because their owner sucks.
That's what I hear.
And they're a bad franchise.
That's what
and
I
they
hear from my
suck.
friend who lives in D.C.
Yeah,
The
their owner
podcast
sucks.
host I listen to from D.C.
Yeah, they're just
Redskins
bad.
fans, I wish I could feel bad for you, but you're in the NFC East. I still think that you're the biggest contender to the Eagles in the NFC East. This is another interesting. I mean, come on. Obviously the public's probably going with Panthers because of Cam Newton. 1 point's
Mhm.
not very much, especially at home. I could see the Redskins winning one of these tight games just like they always do. You went with the Panthers?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with the Panthers just because of Cam. They got to win.
All
I
right.
know they're 3
All
and
right.
1, but they got to look good because they just looked really bad against the Giants. Can't have bad back-to-back weeks against the NFC East.
That's fair.
But I wouldn't do anything with this game. Okay, next up we have the Los Angeles, formerly St. Louis Rams visiting the Mile High Stadium in Denver. The Broncos 2-3. The Rams are getting 7 here. Matt, who are you going with?
Rams.
Unless you want me to. Oh, okay. Rams, myself as well. I see the Rams losing eventually. I don't think they're going undefeated, but I don't think it's going to be this week against this Broncos team. It just got blown away against the Jets.
hmm
This was one of the ones that I said that the Jets would win, and I think you picked the Broncos.
I think the next like 2 or 3 are going to be like relatively cut and dry for picks, but that's just it. That's where it stands right now.
Mm.
I'll be quick. You can go on about the next 2 or 3. Next up, we have Jacksonville up by 3 in Dallas. They're like against the Cowboys.
I mean, is
And if you
anybody
wanted to, you can go to the game for $8. A lot of tickets.
Do you want to go?
Jaguars.
Do you think the plane ride's $8?
They could. I don't know. It all depends on Blake Bortles. The Bortle rocket. It all depends on him, man. The Jaguars are as good as the Bortle rocket is. If he shows up, if he slings it and gets one of his like 599 QBR games a year, they're gonna win. If he shows up and throws one of his like 7-11 QBR games a year, they're probably gonna lose.
Hey, he
Or
did
they'll
sit
come
at the pro
close.
quarterback table today in Gridiron Heights, if you were paying attention. So, good omen for the Bortle rocket.
Bleacher Report thinks you're a pro quarterback. Congrats, Bortle Rocket. Yeah, I just don't see him.
I don't see a single football fan who would feel confident picking the Cowboys here and
Yeah.
on getting 3 points. So, for that reason, I will be going with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep, same. All right, next up. Ravens in Tennessee up by 3. They're favored by 3 against the Titans. So yeah, are you picking the undefeated at home Titans?
Well, welcome to the wormhole, Matt. Let's dive in deeper. So we have the Titans, who always play up to their competition and are not a good team, and we have the Ravens, who are a good team in some factions, and always play down to their competition. So, which wormhole are you jumping into here?
It's a 3-line. The Titans could win, but they'll win by 1. You
Yep.
know?
I mean, yeah, and I can't see the Ravens winning by double digits either because Titans play tough, but I could see them winning by 6.
They're undefeated at home. I think fine. The Titans could pick up a win here. Let's pick the Titans. Why not?
All right, I'll go with Baltimore. I'm a fan. I like Baltimore. I
That's-
bought a hat of theirs when I visited. Went to a Orioles-Yankees game back in 6th grade. I bought a Ravens hat. I like them. They're competent. Titans beat the Eagles. I don't like the Titans anymore. I'll go with the Ravens.
All right. And then this one's going to be the truly frightening matchup right here. This is going to be one that gives everyone in New England night terrors. Next up. I heard tell of this today. I had great discussions on this today.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Chiefs. Patriots. Honest to God, this is my game of the week.
Are you serious?
I think.
This of all games is the best one? What?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
This
kidding.
is an offensive
I am in
shootout.
fact kidding. This
Yeah.
is clear as day the game of the week.
This
Unless
is-
you're a Jets Colts guy.
Yeah. Unless you're a Ravens Titans guy. This is going to be a really great game, I think. I think Chargers Browns could be good too, but dang, this is really fun. You have two offenses that could be high octane. We'll see how the Patriots show up. But you could have two very good offenses going up against each other whose defenses may or may not perform. The Chiefs have had a pass rush some games. They can't stop the run at all, though. The Patriots have trouble setting the edge and don't have a pass rush. But, weirdly enough, and I will defend this, statistics showed it last year, the this year I've seen it a lot. Our non-pressure sack rate is so good, and it is such a weird thing to have on a team. Non-pressure sack rates are scheme sacks, quarterback mistakes, or coverage sacks, and we do exceptionally well in that. Um, and I don't fully know how to handle that, to be honest with you, Darius. This is going to be quite the game. Do we have the talent in our secondary to match up against the Chiefs? No. Are we going to try? Yeah, and I think if there's anything that might defeat Patrick Mahomes, Froggy Voice Mahomes, um, it could be some deceitful trickery that the Patriots might dream up. This is Brian Flores giving his job application to Bill Belichick right now. This is him saying, I should be defensive coordinator. This is it. And I also don't think Andy Reid is an offensive genius. I'm just going to say it. I discussed it all today. I think he's heavily overrated. I do think he's I think he's good at developing quarterbacks somewhat, but I don't think he's like an offensive mastermind. The dude runs crossing routes and jet sweeps. Like, I get what it is. Other than that, he has a couple funky plays, but running Conley on a crossing route, and then your quarterback finds him because he's always open because it's a man-beating coverage. And then your quarterback finds him, and he turns up for 5 more yards after the catch. It doesn't make you a genius. That just means you know that it beats man coverage, and your quarterback knows to look for that. And then just jet sweeps, whatever. Andy Reid, do your jet sweeps all day. Patriots. Because if I don't, I'll be sad.
Thank you for your inside knowledge on New England. I don't think we could get that through anybody else. We appreciate you, Matt.
Yeah, I don't think Bill Belichick's telling anyone.
Yeah. Let's see. So, Andy Reid, yeah. I think that you're a little bit low on him. I think you're a little bit bearish. I might just be jaded because of my years with him on the Eagles. I think you're not giving enough credit. He did develop McNabb, Vic, failed with Kevin Cobb, but McNabb was pretty good. Very good. Very good. His numbers retired.
His numbers aren't that good. His number might be retired, but his numbers aren't that great.
We'll see. I don't. Are you Terrell Owens? Am I talking to Terrell Owens right now?
He had T.O. and he didn't have good stats with him.
He barely had. Anyways, this isn't about the 2004 Eagles. This is about the Chiefs-Patriots game in Week 6. And for that, I'm going with the Chiefs. Screw you, Matt. Nobody speaks crap about Donovan McNabb. Give me the Chiefs. I'll take my 3.5 points any day. Matt, Mahomes this is gonna be a 41-0 game. Mahomes is gonna be taken out in the third quarter because it's gonna be too easy for him. Give me I'm writing this down. KC, Darius. I was gonna go with the Patriots, but those.
I can read you. My segment can honestly just be reading Donovan McNabb's stats with Matt, and I'll do it. And this is how it'll be fair. And I'm just gonna read them, and they'll be mediocre. He would have been a good quarterback in the last
we don't talk crap about McNabb on this podcast.
He would have been a good quarterback for the first 30 years of the Super Bowl era. Everyone would have said this is a good quarterback. But in the era he existed, the Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, 2004 quarterback coterie, this is not a great quarterback, and his stats aren't that great compared to the rest of the league.
All right.
But if you send him 30 years back, and he'd be a top 5 quarterback. I'll say that.
Okay. So,
in fairness,
besides the fact that McNabb is one of the better, one of the top 5 quarterbacks of the past 2 decades, we'll move on. We'll go with the San Francisco. We'll go with the San Francisco 49ers visiting Lambeau Field, Monday Night Football. This would have been the Hanson Bowl had Jimmy G, ACL treated him better. Packers are getting 9.5 for a team who's 2-1. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know about that. It is Lambeau, but like, God,
Man.
what do
Well,
you
I'm
think?
all right. Well, I'm gonna let you in on something. I'm going to Wisconsin this weekend, so this could be, in fact, why they're giving the Packers so many of the points, because they know that when Darius is entering a state, that the professional athletes turn up and they just become fivefold better. So I could see the Packers just blowing them out similarly to what the Saints did. The home crowd's going to be crazy. 49ers are probably the worst team in the NFL next to the Browns.
Mhm.
Um, I'll go with the Packers. If I had to pick, I'd go with the Packers.
I'm picking Packers, but not by this crazy amount. That's nuts. How could you say 9.5? They're 2-2-1. They
It's Aaron
haven't looked
Rodgers.
that great.
Yeah, true.
It is Lambeau. Their record at Lambeau is strong, and it's Aaron Rodgers. It's weird.
So you're going with the Niners?
No,
Okay.
I'll pick the Packers.
Okay.
I just that's
It's a
such
stay
a
away
weird.
for you?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. So that
All right.
concludes this week's lines. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 different picks here. So we'll see. There's no ties. So somebody's going to come out victorious since it's an odd number.
That was a home run. You let up a home run to Christian Vasquez, you bum.
Oh, no.
You
Who is that?
scrub.
Britton? Zach Britton?
Is that Zach Britton?
I believe, yeah, that's Zach
Oh,
Britton.
my.
Oh, my God. Britton, I thought you were the best closer in the league. That is the
He
short
nearly
porch.
won a
That's the short
Cy
porch,
Young a
though.
few
That would
years
have been
ago.
a fly ball. That would have been 50 yards short in
That
Marlins
shouldn't
Park.
have been a home run. I'm just going to straight up say, if Aaron Judge gave any care to fielding, that would have been an out. Easily. That's not a home run.
Yeah.
He could have just reached up and
Well,
caught that.
it was a
The
line
dude's like
drive. It was a line
6'7".
drive. That's a far reach. It's not like the Lindor
That's
home
not-
run that he robbed
He's
last year
6'7".
at the game I
He
was
could have
at.
hopped.
I don't think he had
Could have
time.
hopped with
Anyway,
the equivalent force of a 5-year-old and caught that.
We know your disdain for the Yankees. You just got to keep it in. Keep it professional.
No, I'm just angry he didn't put in effort to that play. All right. Now time for my segment. Reading Donovan McNabb stats with Matt.
Nobody wants to hear this.
Let's just put it this way. I will give you 2004 was a good year. He deserved Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He rushed for 7 touchdowns. Oh no, that was in the playoffs. He threw for 7. How many did he rush for that year? Yeah, there's rushing. I got this. He rushed for 3 touchdowns. That's not a bad year. I might actually make Donovan McNabb my segment next week, just because I want to argue about him because he's so interesting. He's the guy that football fans were divided on so hard.
Yeah,
and I think that actually might be my full opinion on it. I'm gonna think about it a lot more. I'm gonna decide a lot for next week.
Do it. Give us your dissertation on him. I'm ready. I want you to get some thought into work when you're not.
Yeah, my opinion right now. Honest to God with you. He only led in 3 stats. Longest touchdown doesn't count. But he only led in 3 stats, and they were all in 1 year. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't think he's a top 5 at all. But I think if you put him back in the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, he would be considered one of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
All right.
If you put him back in another era, if you move these straight stats back there, possibly.
All right. So I expect a deeper dive next week and give us a more influenced opinion.
My opinion is likely to change, but we'll see. Now, my segment this week, I am very excited about this one. This is pretty cool. Who is your breakout team for next year? We hear all the time about the Oakland Raiders 3 years ago. We hear about the Rams last year. We hear about, the 49ers, the Titans were going to be good. Um, there's always a team breaking out and being that team. Even the Jets a few years ago, people thought they were like nuts with Fitzmagic at the helm. So I ask you next year, what is your team that you think turns the corner?
Well, I think this is a
Everyone
pretty
becomes a superstar.
obvious pick, right? It's got to be the Bears, right? I think that would what everybody would say. They're a year away. That's kind of what they're known
I
for.
I was gonna say I will have one stipulation to it. I count the Bears as like a star team right now. I think they're blowing up this year. I think like this is the year where everyone's like, "Whoa, the Bears are the team."
Kind of like that 2012 Seahawks team, who was
Yeah,
surprisingly good to everybody and had really good defense. Wasn't
yeah.
quite there.
I think this team is like being picked. People are becoming superstars on this team, possibly this year. I think this is like the team this year. You are not allowed to pick the Chiefs next year for next year's big team because the Chiefs are the team every year and then they suck
In
for
one of
half.
one of my qualms with the Bears, I've never got to express this opinion, but I hated how they always exported good receivers. Hated it. I always
Yeah.
thought that you guys have so much potential. You have Jay Cutler, who is known for having so much potential. You have Brandon Marshall, Elshon Jeffrey. Do something.
Mhm.
And they would always get rid of them. So they finally did something that I liked. They imported Allen Robinson. So I
Yeah.
just want to get that opinion out there.
That's fair. So your pick is the Bears.
Yes, the Bears are a year away. I'm not a. I know Mitch Trubisky had that huge game, and everybody's still haunting him because he had the bye week. But you'll see. Give him 5 more weeks. They'll be around 500.
I think the Bears are a definite solid pick.
All right, who's yours?
I think they're blowing up now though. Mitch, if he looks good, he has the potential to be a star now. But their defense is just playing beyond anything. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2012 Seahawks here. Um, who do I pick? Obviously, I'm going with the Browns. No, I can't pick the Browns for everything. Um, they'll improve a lot of things, but people are super hype on the Browns right now. They're a pretty hype team.
Mm-hmm.
Who is my team next year? Who's a team I think turns a corner? Could it be the Bills? Could it be? Most likely not. I think
No,
they've
definitely
exported
not.
too much talent in the past 2 years. They've given away too much talent to like jump in that quickly.
And they put
In
all
two
their
years,
eggs in the basket of Josh Allen. Josh Allen's basket.
I think in 2 years they could be very good though.
We'll
I think
see.
in two
Yeah,
years they'll be
depends on
very good.
how Allen develops.
Sophomore year for a quarterback is always big for them to develop.
Exactly.
Um, you know what? I am looking through the teams. I'm looking at what the Cardinals have too much work on their line.
Yeah,
They have a lot
they're
of work to do.
a long
On the
way
line.
home from home.
Their defense has some serious pieces on it. Their offense has some contention pieces, other than their whole offensive line. Um, like their defense, Chandler Jones, that's a good player. I think Hassan Reddick, how's he doing? Is that who they have? Is that who they have?
I couldn't tell you.
Hassan, is it with one S? Hassan, I don't know. They have someone else who's really good there. They have some other piece that I thought was good. But I'm not a huge guy that looks into the Cardinals every week because they get slaughtered. So
Yeah, I don't think too many of
I
us are looking in too deeply into the Cardinals, so don't feel too bad.
watch from time to time. I look at a lot, and I like what I see sometimes. They have some real pieces, though. But they're so far away. They have so many plugs. They have so many things to plug on the defense. They have a lot to figure out. Other than that, actually, I think I found my team.
Okay.
They weren't there this year, and I was hype on them early. But I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to say I think next year they can add a few things, and they can really do it. Do you know who I'm picking?
I'm going to go with the Jets.
No, not at all. They will they've consistently underachieved. I kind of get what it's like to be a Jets fan because I've talked about them so much. When I go to parties and I imbibe my drinks as a 22-year-old, I'm legally allowed to do so.
Not
Um,
gamble. Don't do that.
no, I can't do that. Not in this state. But when I go to my parties and I imbibe drinks, if I'm around Jets fans, I love to talk about the Jets because they always have a ton of potential and they never execute on it. So you can always keep saying that they
Is
have
this the
potential.
fans themselves or just the Jets?
No, I talk about the Jets with the
Because those
fans.
Long Island people about fit the mold
I
of
love it.
what you're
I love
saying.
talking. Nah, I love talking about the Jets. Some of them are great. Some of my great friends that I love to death. I wouldn't say I'm like insanely close, but I just love all those people to death that I used to talk about the Jets with. Shout out to Jordan and Damien. You guys probably aren't even listening, but you
What's
guys
up,
are tight.
Jordan? Heck yeah.
What's up, Jordan? It's his birthday recently. I was late on wishing it to him. What's up, Jordan? Happy super late birthday. Shouting you out a second time because I feel bad. Um, Giants. I'm gonna pick the Giants though. It's a long way to get there.
Oh, you're so
I
high
think
on the Giants.
I think they
I'm
pick
tired of it.
a couple line high quality official podcast mascot. No, he's
Cody,
sniffing the floor.
Cody, Cody.
Cody. What are you doing, bud? Sniffing your butt? Huh? Living your life? Pooped on the carpet again. You peed on the carpet again, didn't you, buddy? Yeah, he was so angry yesterday because he was sleeping on like the wood floor. I was like, dude, your carpet isn't there because you peed on it yesterday. Like, we're washing it off outside. Don't be angry. Just stop peeing on the carpet. Um. Anyways, the Giants. I think they add a couple pieces to the line. They got rid of Eric Flowers. Good for them. Shout out to all in New York. You're in my thoughts. You're in my prayers for all the nothing that meant, but you finally did it. You got rid of the seeping wound in your offensive line. Um, I think they pick up a couple guys, maybe second, third round on the line. Sign some people if they have any money at all. Do that. Add a couple defensive pieces. Maybe pick up a quarterback. Like Herbert might fill their need. Having a hype enough rookie quarterback, they don't need him to be a serious leader. He has tons of talent there. He can develop into a leader maybe later, but if he doesn't, that's fine. Eli was never like the biggest leader in the world. Replace Eli maybe. Eli's had some decent games this year. Add a couple people, free agency, some draft. Fix up the line a little bit more. You could actually have an average line, and I think that would make a huge amount of difference on this team. All of a sudden, you have a potential superstar running back. You have the big wide receivers. You have a slot receiver at tight end, basically. Defense, add some players there. You can always get late round defensive players, mid round defensive players, even get an early rounder, possibly. I'm sure someone will take someone there. I don't know about the head coaching situation. I don't know exactly how that is with Schmer, but this could be the team that like really turns it around and supplants the Eagles as the Super Bowl hopefuls in their division. They could be the most promising team in their division easily. They could have the promising young quarterback. They could have the old targets for him to really develop and figure himself out with. We'll see. I pick these guys as my turnaround unless they go insane and do something really stupid in the draft again. Sorry, guys. Saquon Barkley was just not the number 2 overall pick. He did not have the talent. He's super talented.
Yeah, I think he's
He's not
talented.
like,
I just don't know if running back's the position that you go with number 2. So
yeah,
that's just kind of
an
what we're
heir
trying
to
to do.
Eli, Quentin Nelson, some foundation of your offensive line or an heir to Eli. Number 2, running back's like a number 6 or 7 if they're like the best. But yeah, that's my team. and that's my really long segment on that team. That was my really long way of getting to that. Shout out to everyone who made it to the end. I'm sorry, Eli Manning, if you're listening. Shout out to Justin Herbert, if you're listening. If they're
Sure.
listening.
Yeah.
Uh,
Maybe.
Hey, you never know. You don't. It could be one of our 8 listeners. But yeah, that I think is my segment. Next week, get ready for Donovan McNabb.
All right. We're excited, and we had 19 last week actually, getting up there. No, we do it. We do it for fun. We do it for the passion. We like doing it. If you're listening, sure, that's just a bonus. We're doing this for fun. So, thank you, Matt, for that segment on the Giants. I think the Giants, you have too high of an opinion on them, too low of an opinion on the Redskins, way too high of an opinion on the Browns, too low of an opinion on the Chiefs.
Browns.
Anyway,
The Chiefs have nuts players, and I think that makes everything look better. Andy Reid is incredible at filling out a depth chart.
yeah,
He's so good.
I'll respect your opinion. We'll go to battle next week on McNabb. I'll do some research myself. So my segment is my best bets, of course, as always. And let this be a disclaimer. This is not legal. This is only to be if your state allows it. And that is Las Vegas, not all of Nevada, just Las Vegas, New Jersey, and Delaware, and Mississippi, I believe now. If you are in there, this is not something for you to indulge in, okay? Got it? I know we all like
Sure.
making money, but you have to respect the laws. Anyway, I have 3 picks for my best bets.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hear the honorable mentions?
Yes.
So, coming in, honorable mention is the Bills and Texans. Texans are a 1-point favorite. I think that the Bills are on the road. You always go with the home team. Home teams is a big advantage. I think that the Texans will be firing on all cylinders, especially against the Bills. I know the Bills don't have too bad of a defense, but the Texans are coming high off a win, and I mean it's the Bills. They have nothing really going on for them other than a quarterback who finds holes, runs through holes. So go with the Texans. Texans are a solid pick. I like them. Their offense is pretty good. Well, not too good. Not too good. But the pass rush, Allen, this is his 4th game of his NFL career. He'll be scrambling around, and he doesn't have the home crowd to feed on. Give me the Texans. Next up, I had... Who was the other team?
Who's the other team that you had? Well, I don't know. You didn't tell me in advance, but
It was... I'll go with the Packers. I like them, actually. I know you don't.
Wow.
But I think that they will blow out the 49ers. 49ers are probably the worst team in the league. Aaron Rodgers is home at Lambeau in prime time. I like it. Give me the Packers.
Did you like the Chargers?
Not too much. This is stay away. They both scare me too much. Chargers, like I said, the movable force versus impenetrable rock. Both teams.
Oh, Panthers. Panthers, Redskins?
No, I mean, no, definitely not. Because I like the Redskins. Redskins are higher on my radar than yours. Yeah, there's not too many good games that stand completely out to me this week. I would have to go with the Packers. And then my big one, obviously, I'm still on the Rams. They're my gate pick of the week. You got to go with the Rams. That offense is going to, I think, especially in the Mile High Air, going to be firing on all cylinders against the Broncos. So give me the Rams 7.
All right.
Getting 7. Giving 7 to the Broncos. Give me the Rams.
Okay. That's not the worst. You know, it happens.
Yeah. All right. So I think that concludes our podcast. We had a baseball talk section. My Brewers are advancing to the NLCS. Your Red Sox are advancing. It looks like they're up 4-0 in the 5th inning to the ALCS. We could have very well a Red Sox Brewers World Series. Wow.
I have not stated anything on this. I have not confirmed or denied my belief that they will win this game. I'm not jinxing anything. For those of you who want to listen to the football podcast, I don't know, skip to the end or something so we say our goodbyes, but I think that part is done. Sorry, guys. I know it's a football podcast, but postseason baseball, baby. You know, gotta get it. All right. What's your playoff look now? What does it look like?
Brewers all the way. I'm all in. No, I'm kidding. I think the Dodgers will probably win the next series against the Brewers. I'm sorry. I'm going to games 1 and 2. It's looking like in Milwaukee. Just the Dodgers. They have Kershaw. That's 2 wins right there, and they have a really dope lineup. Their lefties are insane. Brewers, similarly to Yankee Stadium, has a short left porch. Brewers bullpen, I love it. If they can sustain their bullpen the way it's been playing, just put the starter in for 3 innings, then do their shutdown bullpen for the rest of the game, I give them a fighting chance. But if I had to pick, I'd say the Dodgers got it. Kershaw's too much of an X factor.
They have so many great starting pitchers if they're healthy. Rich Hill, Kershaw, Buehler if he's on.
Rue.
It's like nuts. It really is. We'll see. It should be a really good series. Meanwhile, you have Yelich, who's furious he didn't get the Triple Crown, apparently, because he's hitting like it. I don't know. I still think the Braves have a chance at the World Series this year. I'm sticking with all of my picks last week.
The Braves.
I still think they got it.
Going strong with the team that we mentioned lost on Columbus Day and is eliminated.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like you don't give up on your teams.
I think what was pretty cool was the Boston Braves and the Brooklyn Dodgers are facing off at the same time. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox are facing off. How often do 2 former teams from places and 2 current teams from places face off at the same time?
Interesting.
In the playoffs like that. I don't know. Yeah, I actually might pick you guys. I think you have the underdog factor. I think you have the possible it factor, some kind of weird edge, but the Dodgers could pull it out. They got Manny Magic on there. I'm trying to think of Machado.
Future Red Sox?
No.
Yep.
God. He hates us, I think. And future Yankee, probably. They love Didi, but Didi's days are over if they can pay a guy.
Too.
Yeah, they love spending money more than they love Didi Gregorius. They'll probably just put Didi at third base and do something with Andahar, or get Bryce Harper and put Stanton at first base, something like that.
Definitely, I could definitely see that. They're gonna get Machado and Stanton, and Machado and Harper.
It'd be nuts. That'd be disgusting. But they'll do it. They love spending money. There's nothing they'd love more than that. Get Patrick Corbin, spend $100 million just to top it off and get above that luxury tax again. We'll see what we spend. Hopefully some money on Craig Kimbrell. I've come to the realization that I love it when the Red Sox shed money. I hate when they spend so much because they just spend it. It's all ineffective. So much of the money we have spent right now is nothing. It's just dead money.
On
Pablo Sandoval. It's Pablo Sandoval. It's Hanley Ramirez. It's Alan Craig. It's Rusney Castillo. Dustin Pedroia is hurt, and we're spending a bunch of money on him. But it's all these players we signed at a 1 to 2 year window that just suck and never made sense, and they're just god awful. And when we recover from that, the time when we will is the time when we need to re-sign Bogarts, Betts, Sale, Benintendi. So this year we'll be shedding some money. Pomeranz will leave. That'll save us $8-12 million. We'll have other stuff that we'll cut, and then hopefully we'll re-sign Kimbrell.
All right, and to douse your Red Sox dreams, I'm going with the Astros to make it out of the AL. Too much pitching, too much playoff experience. Astros
sorry.
Day.
I honestly forgot we were doing the podcast. Yeah, forgot there was a segment I was doing. I just went on a full rant about payroll, my favorite thing in
I know,
MLB.
I've heard it. I've heard it. Believe it or not,
Um,
listeners, this is not the first rodeo hearing that.
um, yeah, no, I think we'll be competitive with the Astros, but likely they will win. We could see a rematch. But hey,
Astros,
I'd like to
Dodgers,
think the
yeah.
Brewers and the Red Sox will
Brewers,
make
Red.
it.
I'll see you. I'll see you in New Hampshire. That happens. I'm driving over. Or at least
Have
watching a
fun.
game
Have
together.
fun watching it, yeah, on TV because there's no way in hell I'll be able to afford that
Yeah.
game.
Hey, maybe we might fly
Um,
to Milwaukee. I got connections.
how much would it be in Milwaukee?
Probably like $200.
No, it's not the worst actually.
Not even
God
probably
knows.
like
In
150.
Boston, it'd be awful.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go to Milwaukee. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Um,
So that
and
I
for anyone
guess,
still listening,
yeah, I
I
guess
think
that
that
wraps
concludes
it
it.
up. Matt, do you have anything inspirational to end it on,
Um,
or should I go?
you can go first.
Okay. I told my students this today. You get what you give, okay? You want to be treated with respect, you gotta give it. You know, if you are treated really kindly by somebody, how do you think that you're gonna want to treat them? Are you gonna be really mean to them? Of course not. You're gonna treat people how you're treated. So I say you should take the initiative to start the mold and treat people how you want to be treated. Okay?
Mhm.
Because you're
Yeah.
gonna get what you give. It's the golden rule. That's why they always tell us it in first and second grade. It just makes sense. I mean, sure it makes more sense to the individual to get treat others how you get treated. But if you actually want results and you want to be treated a certain way, you got to get what you give. Give what you get.
Yeah, I get that. Any more on that? I have a interesting thing on that.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it.
Oh God, I'm dying. Um, so today I was thinking about it in the car. I'm sorry. I was sitting there thinking because I have a couple kids I work with that are just like jerks to teachers, and they talk about it, and they're like, when they're in a bad situation, they instantly like just lash out, and they make it worse, and they don't think like, all right, I need to cut my losses and stop. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't get that. I think maybe I get it from my dad where like if a cop pulls me over, my first instinct is like no matter how bothered I am about this, I need to just like step off the gas. Metaphorically, not literally. Um literally I've already stepped off the gas or else I'm not running the police. But no, my thing is like I need to step off the gas and like be apologetic and just like try to cooperate no matter what my opinions of the police are. Like I need to like be kind, not just because I want to like love them, but because they could screw me over if they're trying to. Like they could really mess you up. Um, and I don't know. I just don't get the thing with like kids who are like, I don't want kids to say like, teacher gave me like a bad detention. I didn't like it, and like I could kind of see where the teacher was with giving the kid a detention. Kid didn't think it was justified, but he was kind of in the wrong on it. But that's just kids. But he was like, yeah. So I told her like f off, and like he was like telling her to. He was like yelling swears at her. I was like, why would you do that? Why are you making it worse for yourself? Like, why are you making this statement? She's like, she gave me detention for like 3 weeks. I was like, of course she did. You went from like 1 day to 3 weeks because you did something. He was like, that's my thing. I don't get why, even if someone's treating you with this disrespect, like the golden rule still applies. Like you still need to go and try to treat them better, at least just for self-preservation. Like, I don't know. It's not really inspirational, my part of it, but just like, think about
Yeah.
self-preservation.
Yeah, I'm on
Think
board.
about keeping yourself safe. I thought today, because the police were like doing things that I mean, I'm white. I'm never going to be super bothered by the police. But, like, they had a ton of delays. They weren't really doing a ton. They were delaying traffic a lot on, like, a super busy street every single day. And they had, like, the worst detour. And I was like, what if they pulled me over in, like, the 10 seconds I'm going over the speed limit here? Would I just, like, yell at them and scream at them, like, you guys already screwed me over. I'm late for work because of you. I got in here, like, 10 minutes early so I could be early for work, and you guys are making me 5 minutes late. Like, and if they pulled me over, I was like, why would I do that? Because then not only am I, like, late, but I've just made it so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's, I don't know. I had a big thought about that today. And I think that's my thing. No matter how bad it is, just try to take a breath, try to stop, try to regroup, and just, like, accept it for what it is. That goes out to my boy Pat Schmurr. No matter how bad it is, Pat Schmurr, no matter how much Odell talks crap, just, like, take a breath, take it for what it is. This is a lesson in a lot of sports. Just, like, reflect, review, fix. Patriots do it every single year. That's why they're good. They don't freak out. Bill Belichick doesn't go in there and, like, angrily scream and say, like, you suck, you're cut off the team, you're the worst. Like, he talks to players, he pushes them harder, he tries to get them to fix their problems. Getting angry and just freaking out at people doesn't fix everything. A lot of times it can make it worse. Just calm down, relax, fix what you can, I guess, you know? Treat people the way you want to be treated, to Darius's point. If you were just doing this, if you were just saying something to someone for breaking a rule, like, if I was that cop and I pulled me over for doing that, like, I would have been pissed that this guy was just screaming at me for something I had no control over, too. You know? Even though I was in the situation personally, like, I could understand the fact that to him I'd just be freaking out on him or her randomly. You know? Same with Pat Schmurr. I understand that Odell is freaking out and, like, talking crap in the media. He's being an idiot, but, like, this is a job you signed on to. It's all right. It doesn't all have to be accomplished in 5 weeks. You can have the team most likely next year. They gave Ben McAdoo way too long. Dude, you can have some time with the team, hopefully. And I think that's a roundabout way of getting to some point that was like yours.
Yeah, I like it. I
Not
definitely
bad.
like it.
All right. And I think that is the 1st and 20 podcast for week 6. I'm Matt, and this is where you go.
This is Darius, and on that note, have a good rest of your week. Watch some football. Hang out with your mom and
Relax.
family. Tell your mom you love her if you still have her. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it.
All right. Cue the music. Cue the music.